My beloved child, listen to me now, for the minutes are slipping away and tonight carries a weight that cannot be ignored. I speak to you as the one who formed your heart, the one who watches over your mother, your sister, and every soul you love. I speak not to frighten you, but because time is trembling at the edge of this very moment. Tonight you must lift your weapon, the weapon of spirit, the weapon of truth, for your loved ones depend on your obedience. If you turn away from my words, the enemy will move quickly, opening a chain of devastating events meant to break you. But if you rise, even now, power will flood the darkness before it reaches your door. My child, I speak as God, as your Father, as the one who sees beyond the veil of your understanding. Archangel Michael stands ready beside you, waiting for your command, waiting for your voice to awaken the protection ordained for you since the beginning. Those battles in your chest, those uneasy shadows in your quiet hours, they are not illusions. They are signals, warnings, the whisper of the spiritual world brushing against your spirit, urging you to rise in authority, not fear. Tonight is the threshold. The enemy has watched you, studied your hidden weaknesses, and counted on your silence. He believes you will forget who walks with you, but you will not. You are chosen for this hour. You are commanded to stand, and as you act, heaven will move with you. My child, hear me with the urgency of this hour, for the moments are burning away, and what you choose now determines what unfolds before dawn. The enemy believes he knows your weakness, but he is wrong. For I, your God, have chosen this very moment to remind you of the weapon I placed in your hands long before you understood its power. It was given for nights like this, when darkness presses close and your heart aches for your mother, your sister, your loved ones who depend on your strength. This weapon is not forged in earthly fire. It is woven from faith. It is built from obedience. It is sharpened by trust. It draws its power from the voice I have placed within you, the voice you silence too often, the voice that carries the authority of heaven itself. My beloved child, open your heart now. I am speaking into the deepest chamber of your being, the place where your fears hide, the place where your quiet hopes still breathe, fragile but alive. You have felt torn lately, caught between surrender and resistance, caught between exhaustion and the fire that refuses to die inside you. This tension is no accident. The enemy has pressed against your spirit, trying to drain your strength, whispering lies into your mind. Nothing will change. Your prayers are empty. You are forgotten. These are deceptions, every single one. Shadows meant to blind you. Confusion meant to weaken you. But hear me, you are not forgotten. You have never been forgotten. Not for a single heartbeat. Tonight, and hear me, for time is short, I want you to rise, not just in your body, but in the core of your spirit. Rise in the place where your spirit and my spirit meet, the place where battles are won before the world sees the victory. For I have already prepared your victory, but you must step into it. My child, listen with the urgency of this very hour, for the seconds are running swiftly, and what you do tonight carries weight in the realms you cannot see. Do not think your role is small. Do not imagine your voice is weak. When I command you to speak, all of heaven leans in, and every shadow trembles. You still underestimate the authority I placed inside you, not because it is small, but because its full measure has not yet been revealed to your eyes. The weapon you must lift tonight is not anger, not force, not fear. It is not manipulation, nor a battle against flesh and blood. The weapon is your obedience, your willingness to hear my voice, your readiness to speak what I tell you to speak, your courage to declare what I have already established in the spiritual realm. When your voice aligns with my truth, it becomes a sword that slices through the enemy's plans. It becomes fire that burns every trap laid before your feet. Your obedience is not a simple action. It is a force, a power that shifts the unseen. When you obey, you move what has been unmoved. When you obey, you release what has been locked. When you obey, you bind what has tried to bind you. My beloved child, think of those you love, your mother, your sister, the ones your heart aches for, the ones you protect even in silence. Think of their laughter, their tears, their fragile dreams, their secret battles. You have carried them inside you, sometimes with joy, sometimes with fear. But hear me now. The dangers surrounding them are real, and time is narrowing. Tonight you stand not only for yourself, but for every soul your heart refuses to lose. My beloved child, hear me, for we are down to sacred minutes, and what you choose now matters beyond what your eyes can grasp. Some of the ones you love walk through life unaware, trusting a world that is far harsher than they realize. But you, I have given you deeper sight. I have awakened your spirit. I have stirred your senses so you may discern what others overlook. You are not called to carry fear for them. You are called to guard them in the spirit, to intercede, to shield, to stand between them and the shadow that seeks an entrance. Tonight, I call you to stand for them with the full power of heaven behind you. The enemy watches your loved ones, your mother, your sister, the ones your heart refuses to lose. He waits for you to grow tired. He hopes you will remain passive, but you will not. Your heart is stirring because the time to act is now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel stronger, not when life becomes calm. Tonight, for the veil between realms is thin, and I am empowering you to push back what seeks to advance. Do not ask, why me? You have whispered this question in the hidden hours, buried under your other thoughts. You've wondered why battles keep finding you, why responsibility feels so heavy on your shoulders, why your heart is called deeper than others. You have questioned your strength. You have doubted your worthiness. You have wondered if you are truly ready. But listen, my child. I chose you, not because you appear the strongest to the world, but because I see what others cannot. I see the resilience beneath your doubts. I see the purity beneath your fears. I see the courage that flickers in the dark and refuses to die. And tonight that courage is needed. My beloved child, hear me with the intensity of this moment, for the hours are thinning and heaven leans close. I chose you even when your heart trembles. I chose you because you listen. I chose you because you care. I chose you because when my voice reaches you, something inside your spirit awakens. Even when your body feels unprepared, even when your emotions feel small. Tonight you must lift the weapon of your voice. Speak what I place within you. Do not fear if the words feel unfamiliar. Your flesh may hesitate, but your spirit knows these declarations well, for they rise from the place where you and I are already united. Declare protection. Declare peace. Declare the breaking of every plan the enemy has crafted. Speak with faith, not because you see the victory yet, but because I have already set it into motion. You are not creating the victory, you are aligning with what I have already established. My child, I feel your heart questioning. You fear doing it wrong. You fear missing the moment. You fear being unworthy of such a command. But listen closely. The enemy thrives in the hesitation of my children. If he can make you doubt your worth, he can delay your obedience. And delay is the weakest link in the chain of spiritual protection. But even now I am strengthening you. I am calming your heart. I am sharpening your thoughts. I am clarifying your purpose. And hear me clearly. I will not allow your voice to fall powerless. Every obedient word you release tonight will strike exactly where it must. Do not think this night is ordinary. Do not imagine it is like the nights before. There are rare moments in every lifetime. Nights where heaven shifts, where destinies pivot, where choices determine the path of days and years. Tonight is such a night. I am not giving you a burden. I am giving you authority. I am not placing fear on you. I am placing clarity. And I am not asking you to fight alone. I am asking you to stand while I fight through you. Look at your life, my child. You have walked through storms others never saw. You have endured pain that would have crushed many. You have felt loneliness, betrayal, confusion, disappointment. And yet you still look upward. You still hope. You still hunger for goodness. You still call on me even when you don't understand my ways. This is why I trust you with this moment. This is why I speak with such urgency. Because even under the weight of the world, you hear me and you act. You do not yet know the strength of your spirit, but I do. Now still your mind. Take a breath. Become aware of my presence surrounding you. For I am closer than your next heartbeat. My beloved child, hear me. I am closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat. I am not a distant voice echoing from the heavens. I am here, surrounding you, filling the very air around you with my light. You may not feel me in the way you expect, but your spirit knows me. Your spirit recognizes me. Let that recognition rise within you now. Let it guide your actions in these final, critical moments of this night. You do not need to shout. You need only to speak with conviction. Your authority does not come from volume. It comes from alignment with me. The enemy fears your awakening more than anything. He fears not your natural strength, but the moment you realize who stands beside you. He fears your obedience because obedience unlocks power. He fears your words because when they are shaped by my spirit, they cannot be resisted. He fears your love for your family, your mother, your sister, your loved ones, because love breaks curses and shatters chains. And he fears this very night because he knows, once you rise in the spirit, every plan he crafted will crumble before it unfolds. My child, trust what I am telling you. Do not overthink. Do not analyze. Do not hesitate. Trust. When I speak, it is because something is within reach, something that must be caught before it slips into the realm of consequence. Tonight, I am giving you the opportunity to shift what the enemy hoped to set in motion. Use your weapon. Speak life over your home. Speak protection over your loved ones. Speak clarity into your path. Speak strength into your spirit. Declare that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Declare that every scheme is exposed and dismantled. Declare that angels stand guard around you. Declare peace where turmoil seeks to enter. Declare courage where fear tries to root itself. Do not underestimate what happens in the spiritual realm when you speak tonight. Angels are not idle. They move at my command, and my command often travels through your obedience. When you speak, they act. When you declare, they enforce. When you stand, they surround you. My child, tonight is a turning point. After tonight, the heaviness you've carried will begin to lift. The confusion clouding your thoughts will start to clear. The patterns that felt unbreakable will weaken. But this shift depends on your willingness to act, not because your action replaces my power, but because your action unlocks the power I have already prepared. You are not alone. Even when you felt invisible, you were seen. Even when you feared your prayers dissolved into silence, I heard every word. Even when you believed you were overlooked, I was nearer than you realized. My beloved child, the world rarely sees the battles you fight inside, but I see every one of them. I have watched your tears, your quiet endurance, your desire to protect the ones you cherish. I have seen your longing for peace, a peace that lasts, a peace that settles into your home and your heart. Tonight, I give you the chance to claim that peace, not temporarily, not partially, but fully. Stand, my child. Speak. Trust. The enemy will not prevail, not when you rise in the authority I have placed within you. Tonight, you choose alignment, and when you do, darkness has no choice but to retreat. Listen now, for what I speak next is woven through time. It is written in ancient paths, reflected in the lives of those who walked before you. This message is not new. It echoes the same truth I have whispered to my chosen ones for generations. The urgency you feel tonight is the same urgency that stirred prophets, shepherds, kings, mothers, warriors, and ordinary men and women whom I chose for sacred assignments. The pressure on your spirit is the same pressure felt by those who carried destiny on their shoulders. What you face is not unfamiliar to the scriptures. The spiritual realm does not change with centuries. The battles remain. The patterns remain. The adversary's schemes remain. And the necessity of obedience, that remains as powerful as ever. My child, remember the night I spoke to Samuel as he slept. A young boy with no status, no title, no authority in the eyes of men. Yet chosen. My child, listen, there is not much time. Heaven moves even now. In these final moments of this night, while the world sleeps, I speak to you with urgency, with the weight of eternity, with the love of a father who has watched every silent battle inside you. I have seen the tears you never showed, the way you protected those you love, your mother, your sister, the ones tied to your heart. I have seen your longing for peace, and tonight that peace stands at your door, but you must rise to claim it. Stand, my beloved. Speak. Trust. The enemy will not prevail. Not when you move in the authority I have placed upon you. This moment is alignment, and when you choose alignment, darkness has no choice but to retreat. Child of my heart, hear me. What I speak now is woven through ages, echoing through prophets, kings, shepherds, mothers, sons, and daughters I chose long before you. The urgency stirring inside you is the same fire that stirred them. Heaven is near. The hour is short. Remember Samuel, the boy with no title, chosen not for skill but for a tender heart. I called him again and again until he understood the voice shaping his destiny. When he whispered, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening," I placed on him a message that would shake nations. That night was not casual. It was a divine summons, just as this night is for you. When I speak at night, it means a shift is at hand. Remember Moses on the night judgment swept through Egypt. I gave him precise instructions, not because I needed ritual, but because obedience creates protection the enemy cannot cross. The blood on the doorposts was alignment. Those who obeyed stood untouched. So it shall be with you. Obedience is your shield tonight. Remember Joseph, who rose in the night when danger hunted the child. He did not wait for morning. He moved instantly, and because of his obedience, destinies were preserved. So too, your obedience now may protect more than you know. Your home, your future, your loved ones. My beloved child, heaven is pressing close. Archangel Michael stands watch beside you. The kingdom leans in to strengthen you. This is not a small moment. This is not a passing feeling. This is the hour where obedience becomes deliverance, where alignment becomes protection, where your yes becomes the shift your generations have waited for. Rise now. Act now. The night is short, but heaven is with you. My child, the minutes are passing, and heaven is still calling your name with urgency. Listen closely. Your obedience tonight carries a weight that echoes through generations. Remember Gideon, trembling and uncertain, hiding from the enemy, unsure of his own calling. I spoke to him in the stillness and called him mighty warrior when he felt like nothing. And when I told him to tear down the altar of Baal in the darkness of night, he obeyed, quietly, secretly, but fully. That hidden obedience shattered the stronghold over his people. My beloved child, your unseen obedience tonight will break patterns that have lingered around your home, your mother, your sister, the ones bound to your heart. Look at Elijah on the mountain. Before the fire fell, before the nation cried out that I alone am God, he had to act. He rebuilt what was broken. He confronted darkness boldly. But before the miracle in daylight, he bowed low in the night, praying, interceding, listening. The fire came because the night was obeyed. Your night is now. Think of Daniel, alone in a land far from my ways. When threats rose against him, when the enemy sought to silence him, he did not hide. He opened his window toward home and prayed as he always had. That simple, unwavering act sealed the mouths of lions. My child, heaven does not respond to fear, it responds to faithfulness. Tonight, your weapon is not striving but obedience. Speak like Daniel. Stand like Daniel. Trust like Daniel. My protection wraps around the obedient like a shield. And remember, my son, Jesus, faced his own night of crushing weight in Gethsemane. The disciples slept, unaware of the hour. But Jesus pressed forward in prayer, pushing through sorrow, pressure, and the enemy's attempts to weaken him. And when he rose from prayer, he rose with strength. So too will you. This is not your defeat. This is your strengthening. As he prayed, you must speak. As he surrendered, you must obey. You are not alone in this holy hour. I am with you. Archangel Michael stands guard by your side. Heaven watches. The night is passing, child, but your obedience will shift your destiny before the morning comes. My child, hear me. Time is moving quickly, and heaven is pressing upon this moment. What you speak in these next minutes carries the power to shift what seems unchangeable. Remember Hezekiah, who received a message of impending death. The decree seemed final, written in certainty. But he turned his face to the wall and cried out to me, and his prayer split the impossible in two. I extended his life. I healed his body. I preserved his kingdom, not by sword, not by strategy, but by the weapon of a crying heart, faith, desperation, and truth spoken to heaven. My child, your voice tonight carries that same force. Do not underestimate what I placed inside you. Think of Jonah, who carried warning to Nineveh. His reluctance almost cost him his life, because disobedience creates openings for destruction. Yet when he obeyed, even reluctantly, his message saved an entire city. My child, your obedience tonight is not only for you. It may protect your mother, your sister, the ones you love deeply. It may guard destinies that haven't yet taken their first breath. Do not run. Heaven is counting on your yes. Look at Abraham, my friend. In the quiet night, when doubts could have drowned him, I told him to look at the stars. Count them if he could. I spoke a promise bigger than his understanding, and he believed. That belief opened a river of blessing that still flows through generations. Later, when I asked him to take Isaac to the mountain, he obeyed without knowing why. That obedience unlocked provision that shaped nations. My child, your obedience tonight may open doors that your family will walk through long after you are gone. Consider Joshua standing before the towering walls of Jericho. My instructions defied logic. Walk, stay silent, then shout. But he obeyed with precision, and the walls that seemed unbreakable collapsed under the weight of my word. My child, there are walls around your life. Fear, doubt, generational cycles, unseen barriers that have stood for years. They will fall when you act in obedience, even if my instructions seem strange or small. It is not the act, it is the power behind the act. And remember Noah, building an ark when there was no rain, no storm, no sign. People mocked him because they did not see what he saw in the Spirit. But when the flood came, obedience became the dividing line between destruction and preservation. My child, some of what I tell you tonight may seem small. Some may seem unusual. Some may stretch your understanding. But obedience is your ark. Obedience is your shield. Obedience is the doorway to protection for you and the ones carried in your heart. This is your hour. This is your night. Obey now, and heaven will move before morning. My child, listen, these minutes matter. Heaven is pressing on you with urgency, not to frighten you, but to awaken you. Obedience builds an ark around your life. Obedience preserves what must be preserved. Obedience shields the ones you love, your mother, your sister, those tied to your heart. Every moment in Scripture where I spoke with urgency came because the hour demanded action. When obedience was delayed, destruction followed. But when my children responded quickly, protection arrived swiftly, as swift as angels released at my word. These spiritual laws have not changed. Tonight, they stand before you waiting for your response. The enemy hunts for openings. Fear, confusion, hesitation, distraction. But obedience shuts every door he tries to pry open. This night is not about terror. It is about divine alignment. It is about stepping beneath my covering, where angels stand like walls of fire, and my authority wraps your home like a shield. The urgency you feel is heaven knocking at the door of your spirit. Look at the thread woven through time. Samuel listened. Moses obeyed. Joseph rose in the night. Gideon acted though trembling. Elijah prayed in the darkness. Daniel remained faithful. Jesus surrendered in the garden. Hezekiah cried out. Jonah warned. Abraham trusted. Joshua marched. Noah built. None acted because it was easy. They acted because the moment demanded alignment with my voice. My child, you are part of this same lineage, the same story, the same divine rhythm, and the enemy you face is the same ancient adversary, whispering fear, delay, doubt. But my call has not changed. Listen, obey, trust, speak. I am not asking you for perfection. I am asking for willingness. I am not asking you to understand everything. I am asking you to act. I am not asking you to see the full picture. I am asking you to trust the one who sees beyond time. These stories are not distant history. They are mirrors reflecting your moment now. The night hours have always held the greatest assignments, the turning points that shape generations. When I speak with urgency, it is because something sacred hangs in the balance. And when my children obey, the enemy's plans collapse, my purposes advance, and protection flows like a river. So tonight, my beloved child, rise. Speak what I place in your spirit. Declare my truth over your home. Wrap your family in words forged in faith. Pray with intention. Break chains with your voice. Close every door the enemy seeks to enter. Stand in authority. Resist darkness. Invoke my promises. And know this, as surely as I delivered them, I will deliver you. This is your hour. This is your night. Obey, and heaven will move before the morning. My child, hear me, just as I moved for Samuel, Moses, Joseph, Gideon, Elijah, Daniel, Jesus, Hezekiah, Jonah, Abraham, Joshua, and Noah, I will move for you. The same God who split seas, silenced lions, shattered walls, redirected kingdoms, preserved destinies, and overturned decrees is the God who speaks to you in this very moment. This is not history, it is your hour. This is not their miracle, it is your promise. This is not their obedience, it is your assignment. Act, my child. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. The minutes matter. Rise in obedience, and heaven will rise with you. Speak, and angels will be dispatched. Stand, and darkness will retreat. Align your heart with mine, and watch the impossible bow at your feet. Tonight, this very night, heaven aligns with your voice.